Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Dr. Robinson again, and we are back to talk about graphing a linear equation. We're going to be using the slope-intercept method to do that. So here are our steps to graph the linear equation. Use the formula for the slope-intercept form of a line, which is y equal mx plus b. The graph, first step, step number one, graph the y-intercept on the y-axis. Step 2. Use the slope to draw the next point. Note if the slope is negative, count downwards, then to the right. So here we go. So here's our question. We want to graph y is equal to 2x plus 1. So the first thing we need to do is get our formula y equal mx plus b to identify the slope and the y-intercept. So there's our formula, y equal mx plus b. M is the slope, which would be 2. And the y-intercept would be positive 1. So our y-intercept is positive 1, so I'm going to take my point and put it on the positive 1. Now that I have my slope, which is 2, I'm going to go up 2 boxes and over 1 box and draw my next dot. So from this spot, I'm going to go up 2 spaces, 1, 2, and then 1 more to the right and put my dot right there. I'm going to again do the same thing from that spot. Go up 2, 1, 2, and 1 over to the right, and there is my next spot. So the slope tells us how many boxes we go up and over according to the rate of change. So that's what the slope is. You can also do the inverse or the reverse. Instead of going up 2, you can go down 2, 1, 2, but over 1 to the left. As a result, that will give you a spot as well. So let's try that again. So go from that last spot, go down 2, 1, 2, and over to the left. And notice how the points line up nice and evenly. So you can see your rate of change going up 2 and over 1. That's your slope, up 2 and over 1. And that will be connected with a line. So let's get our line tool. And here's a nice blue line, and draw a line right through all of those points. So there is how you graph the line. And let's put the name of that line. Let's clone it. Y equal 2x plus 1. So congratulations, you have just graphed your first line. So remember, use that formula to identify the slope and the y-intercept. Your slope tells you how many boxes you go up, and if the slope is negative, we would go down and over to the right. So here's one for you. Again, identify your slope, and notice there's no number there, so it's the coefficient, and here's your y-intercept. So once you do that, you should be able to graph your points. So check your understanding. If you understand it so far, great. If you're not sure, rewatch the video, see what I've done. I want to take it a step further. Here's a question that you have to adjust the to y equal mx plus b. So make sure you solve it for y. Even though it's not solved for y, you have to solve it yourself. So hopefully you'll be able to do that. I want to take it one step further. I want to graph 2 equations. So here I have 2x plus y equal 8. So I want to first change that into y equal to, so I can have my slope-intercept form of equation. So I would subtract 2x from both sides, leaving me with y equal negative 2x plus 8. Then I would identify my slope, which would be negative 2 over 1. My y-intercept is positive 8. So I would draw on positive 8 a dot. So I'll use this red dot right here. My slope is negative, so that means I go down 2 boxes in this case. So down 2, so I'm down here 2, and over 1 to the right. Let's try that again. Go down 2 from this spot, 1, 2, and over to the right. One more time, down 2, and over 1 to the right. So I can keep going, down 2, and over 1 to the right. And then eventually I'll have my line tool, so let's get my blue line and connect all of those nice dots. So I've graphed my first line. So let's look at the second one. Again, y minus x equal 2. I need that in the form of y equal to, so I would add x to both sides, so I could have y equal x plus 2. And my slope is the coefficient of the x, so my slope would be 1. And as a fraction, it's got to be 1 over 1. My y-intercept would be positive 2. So let me get a dot, and I use the green one this time, and go to positive 2. Put it right on the y-axis there. And now my slope tells me I go up 1 box and over to the right 1. So let's get the green dot and do that. So I go up 1, over 1. Let's get another green dot, go up 1, over 1. And notice this one is already there with the red dot, so that's a special point. So let's go up 1 from here and over 1. Let's try it again, go up 1 and over 1. And let's get another line tool. We got enough points there. Let's use this green line and draw it right through. So we have our 2 lines. So our green line was y minus x equal 2, and our red line was 2x. Our blue line was 2x plus y equal 8. So we've graphed that, and I noticed this point I mentioned earlier where they both intersect. That point is 2, 4. So that's the point right here. That's the point of intersection. And when you talk about systems of equations, that's when you have 2 equations at the same time where there's a coordinate that will answer both of those equations. That's when you run into a common point value that answers both at the same time. So we'll be talking about systems later on, graphing method. So this is the same way we would graph though systems of equations. The only difference is we would have 2 or more equations to graph. So this was a good practice in graphing. So sometimes you can graph more than one line on a graph, but here's one for you. See if you can find that point of intersection again. So y equal x plus 1 and x plus y equal 5. So I hope you enjoyed the lesson. I hope it was easy for you. And if you have questions, rewatch the video. If you will come to class tomorrow and bring your questions with you, I'll be glad to answer them. So this is Dr. Robinson signing off. See you next time. Bye-bye.